So today I want to talk about pigmentation and melasma and things that you can do to make it better as far as ingredients that you can use at home. And I will do another video about treatments that I've found success with in my med spa over the past, 18 years, but more in particular, the past 5 years that have been really beneficial for my hyperpigmentation and my melasma clients. So I did a whole video on pigmentation and melasma triggers. So watch that for more information on the triggers that you can avoid. But in general, there's hormonal based pigmentation, right, that you get from hormonal issues. There's post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation that you'll get, after breakouts or any kind of trauma, even like little scratches. And then there's UV-induced hyperpigmentation or melasma that comes from the UV. So a lot of people think that getting like one microdermabrasion or one peel is going to help pigment, because what they'll see, the pigment on the top of the skin, it's darker than the lower levels, right? So the pigment is on the top of the skin, but it goes underneath too, and it can go pretty deep into the skin. So when you come in for a treatment and get like your first microdermabrasion appointment, facial, you'll be like, oh my God, my pigment is so much better. But no, it's really just taking off the top layers of the skin. But you need to combine gentle treatments with melanocyte inhibitors. So you want to suppress the melanocytes, which are the cells that create the pigment. You want to have ingredients in your skin at all times that will suppress that reaction to trauma and to UV stimulus. So there are 4 things that you can do at home to help with hyperpigmentation. So 1 is to gently exfoliate. You don't want to have any kind of traumatic exfoliation. 2 is to increase cell turnover. 3 is to inhibit melanogenesis, right? And 4 is to protect the skin from UV and any kind of trauma or stimuli. So we're going to go over each one and what you can use ingredient-wise to help at home. So number 1, for gentle exfoliation, you can use some light alpha hydroxy acids, so some light glycolic acid, lactic acid, azelaic acid cleansers. I wouldn't go so much with the beaded exfoliation because that can cause little like micro traumas in the skin. I would not use those like exfoliating brushes. Because even though they appear soft or they feel soft, it can be kind of aggressive over time, and you want to avoid any kind of inflammation to the skin. So I would just stick with like, if you're wearing makeup, do a double cleanse. So you would do like an oil-based cleanser and then use more of an active cleanser to gently exfoliate the skin with an acid versus like a mechanical exfoliation. So I can link some options for cleansers down below. So based on your sensitivity, you could pick your products. So glycolic acid is a little bit more aggressive than lactic, which is a little bit more aggressive than azelaic. So, and then they'll come in different percentages. So you just want to apply the cleanser, leave it on a few minutes, not a few minutes, it depends. I mean, sometimes cleansers for me, like I can use as a treatment, but you can leave it on like a minute, rub it in 2 minutes, like a little treatment. It really depends on how active the cleanser is, but you just want to get those acids, what I'm saying, into the pores, into the skin to really gently exfoliate. So number 2, right, is increased cell turnover. And again, you can do this with an alpha hydroxy acid and also a retinol, so vitamin A or some type of a retinol product you can use at night to help increase cell turnover gently. So again, you want to start this slowly because you don't want to aggravate the skin by starting something too strong because that's going to cause a whole host of other problems. So gently start on some type of retinol. I would ask your derm, or just start not on a straight vitamin A, but retinaldehyde, and try it like once a week, then twice a week, and then just increase until you get acclimated to it. So the 3rd step, right, number 3, I think is one of the most important steps and crucial in making sure that you have good results. Okay, so those are the melanocyte inhibitors. So there's a lot of them to choose from, and you can research and see what would be good for you. I like, for my clients, the best azelaic acid, licorice root, like the more gentle ones. Okay, so you can also use hydroquinone, which is banned in a lot of countries, and I'm not a fan of it, but a lot of doctors still use it. but you can do your own research on that. I don't sell anything and I don't use anything with hydroquinone, but you know, the results are good. But I've seen a lot of studies where there's rebound pigmentation after you stop the use of it. So you see, you know, what you think would be good for you. Retinols or retinoids are good. L-ascorbic acid is also good. There's a lot of studies on it. For me, I'm sensitive. It sparks breakouts, which then sparks, you know, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So you want to just, I would start like very slowly. I'll list below the in the video the ingredients that, you know, are good, and kind of start from like least strong to the more strong options, and you can choose there. All right, so I'd say the most popular, again, like if you're talking to doctors or other people, or if you look online, it's hydroquinone, lactic acid, retinols, kojic acid, which also, you know, there's a lot of good information, but some people say it's the more toxic ingredient. Then you also have arbutin, mulberry extract, licorice extract. So these are more gentle forms. Rumix, I think it's called Rumix extract, is another one I've read about. Okay, so number four is protect from UV and also inflammatory responses. So a broad spectrum sunblock is really important. I like zinc and titanium, but there is some new information if you can't handle. Some of my clients are allergic to zinc. So there are some sunblocks now that have this Helio Guard and also ferulic acid. Amazing studies on both of those combined to give you protection. I'm not a fan of chemical sunblocks. So chemical sunblocks have to absorb the UV and then scatter it out. So I prefer mineral sunblocks. I think, you know, if you're sensitive, it's also better to use a mineral sunblock. And then anti-inflammatory agents, right? So to keep the inflammation down. So glutathione is amazing antioxidant. There's some studies on caffeine, resveratrol. So topical antioxidants, some companies are incorporating them into their SPFs now, which is amazing. But you want to have some topical antioxidants to help with inflammation. So anyway, I hope this gave you some tips on what ingredients you can look for. I will link some down below and maybe some products that you can try. So again, you know, you want to be careful. Everyone's skin is different. Everyone's sensitivities are different. You don't want to invoke any type of inflammatory response to starting a product that's too strong. You don't want to start a product that will cause breakouts, because then you can get, you know, that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Should just start slow and simple, but it's just really important to exfoliate gently, do gentle treatments. Someone that's really skilled in pigmentation, hyperpigmentation, and melasma, see someone like that. I will do a whole nother video on treatments that I do in my spa that I think are amazing and that clients love. And you want to avoid the sun, always have sunblock, and definitely always use those melanocyte inhibitors, because once you get that pigment to fade, those melanocytes are still active, right? So a lot of people will be like, oh, my pigment is gone, and then just stop their treatments or their products. So no, you have to continually use them so that you don't have that melanocyte response and get pigment when you're exposed to the sun or you scratch your skin, right? So please just continue. It's just important. You just need to have always using these ingredients if you want to have the best results. So subscribe to my videos, click on the little bell so you're notified when I upload new videos, and then look out for the treatments that I really think would be great that you can ask for, you know, wherever you live, that could help also to reduce your pigmentation and help with melasma.